What's up, world? Welcome back to the blog. This is episode number 10. That's right, we are in double digits now. My name is Yuri, aka GainsFinder, and I'm so happy to jump into this episode because tonight we are discussing daily approach to training. So, right off the bat, I have a question for you. Are you someone who believes in short term gains or long term results? There is no right or wrong answer here, but if you believe in long-term results, I believe that this video is going to be beneficial for you, so stick around for the entire thing, okay? Right off the top, I want to start with an analogy. And this analogy to training is a piggy bank. Many of us growing up had a piggy bank collecting money in order for us to be able to purchase something later on, thanks to our parents. Those great times, right? With time, piggy bank accumulated resources, and then eventually we would take these resources in exchange to services or product, most likely, that we really desired. Well, our body works the same way. Our body accumulates resources over time, no matter how big or small, and we benefit from these resources in the end. Resources, in this case, being the exercise and physical activity. Now, the key here is no matter how little of a resource, even if you're putting a nickel, it's still a resource. Even if you're doing one repetition, two repetitions, a few repetitions that don't seem significant, it's still a resource. Your body still accumulates it over time. So my follow-up question is, why so many of us trying to work so hard in this one session just to find out later that we cannot fight soreness and come back the next day to fight that good fight? Knowing that our body works like a piggy bank, we can take this to the bank, no pun intended. We can utilize this knowledge in order to progress our training intelligently and develop a sound exercise program for ourselves. So let's go ahead and make it practical, okay? Theory is great, but we need practice. We need to be able to utilize this knowledge appropriately and have some examples, okay? So I identified a few distinct factors that will help us with our daily practice, with our daily approach to training. So first one is a posture. So many of you might be thinking, a posture? What are you talking about? Posture and training? What's one has to do with another? I will tell you. Posture means a whole lot to our training. And it's a sneaky one because we don't necessarily think about it in our training so distinctly. It's kind of there, it's kind of in the background, right? But we're not necessarily very intentional about it all the time, unless you are working with experienced trainer and someone who's really making an emphasis on it. But in reality, let's look at it a little bit deeper. What exactly posture is doing? Well, posture will create an environment for your body to be either effective at absorbing, what's the word I want to use? Positioning. I don't want to say absorbing a force of positioning. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But rather, posture will allow you to reap the benefits. Let me put it that way. Reap the benefits of proper positioning of your spine versus improper positioning of the spine. So the easiest way to think about it in my mind is creating a neutral spine. Neutral spine equals a decent and safe posture. What that means is neutral line that will spread from the pelvis through low back, through middle back, through our shoulders, all the way to the crown of our head. If we can maintain this neutral posture, we are in pretty good shape. This means that we are balanced. We are in extended position, and our muscles are not compromised, if you will. What happens is, let's go the other way. Let's go and review a rounded shoulder posture, right? And a forwarded head posture. So what happens here muscles of the back is lengthening, muscles of the shoulder, muscle of the chest shortening. And now as a result, we're spending 6 or more hours of the day sitting like this. So what happens? We are start being hunched over, and because of that, mobility of our shoulders are prohibited, mobility of the middle back is prohibited, and that, my friend, will affect us greatly in how we move. It will increase a chance of injury, and it will create an environment for less than ideal movement patterns, if you will. So what can we do? You're probably asking that question already. Get to the point. So I am getting to the point. All this is important. Context is important. All right. But what can we do? Couple of things. You can always, once you establish this neutral line that we talk about, what's next? Sit somewhere by the mirror where you can see yourself side view, and you can change periodically throughout the day whether or not you're maintaining this neutral line, right? Number two, set reminders on your phone. Maybe every half an hour you get a reminder on your phone or something like this that tells you check on your posture. I heard that it takes 21 days to develop a habit. Whether it's wrong or right, it's true that if we do something continuously, eventually it's going to become a second nature. It's going to become a habit. So maybe it will take 2 weeks, maybe it will take 4 weeks, but if you do it daily, you will develop a system and a habit in your brain to where you will automatically start checking yourself and remembering to have this proper posture, right? So these couple of things right off the bat. You can also set a camera somewhere, not like a separate camera, just your phone camera as well if you don't have a mirror, or take a picture of yourself. So you can be creative with how you want to approach it, but you have got to I'm not perfect at it, I'm still working at it. We have got to get to a point where our posture is neutral, we can maintain it daily, okay? Number two, stretch every 2 to 3 hours. Stretching is very simple. Stretching, just standing up from your chair every 2 to 3 hours and spending literally 2 minutes stretching. Anyone has time for that, right? We're spending way more time on our phone. So please don't spare me time, all right? Spare me nerves to tell me that you don't have 2 to 3 minutes. We all do, all right? And it's actually one thing that will benefit us. So what should we stretch? So my recommendation would be calves, muscle of your legs, your hips, your hamstrings, glutes, quads, and then chest and shoulders, all right? And then, of course, if you have tightnesses in your back or neck, you can address these areas of the body as well. All of it is going to be individualized. These are just general pieces of advice, right? You always have to be intentional, or intuitive rather, with where you feel and what you feel in your body. Number three, changing positions. Remember that our body does not like to be in the same position all the time. Our body likes to move inherently. It likes to change positions, okay? And changing position is not very difficult. It's really not. So even from a sitting position, let me tell you. So even if you're doing slight shift like this occasionally, right? Very slight shift. In the way you're changing the position, you're shifting. Your blood is now, your oxygen in the body is being delivered now, right? Your blood flow is, you do a little spark in this particular instance. I feel like not expressing it very well, but you know what I mean. What some other things you can do? You can squat up and then squat down every half an hour. Literally a couple of reps. That's very simple. Again, you can do little shifts that we just talked about. You can move your hips, stand up and just shift your hips right and left. So these are very simple things, but your body will thank you for that, because the alternative of sitting on the chair or standing on your feet for hours on end, that's not something that our body likes. And you felt it before. If you're standing too long on your feet and your feet start aching, it's because we're standing in the same position. Or if we're sitting in the same position and the butt and muscles of hamstrings start becoming numb, right? Nobody needs that. Nobody wants that. So shifting, standing up and down, changing positions throughout the day is imperative. And then lastly, incorporate exercise during the day. All right? So right off the bat, I can hear like, how can I do it? How can I do exercises unless I'm going to do a full-blown workout? Uh-uh, not necessarily. So let's talk about examples. Things like squats. We just mentioned it. Standing on up and squatting back down. Simple. Lunges. Stepping forward, stepping back. Very simple. Push-ups. Before you say I hate it, before you say it, you can do elevated push-up on your desk, elevated push-up on the wall, or modified push-up on the ground where your knee is going to be on the ground. Okay, you have a plethora of options, tons of different variations that you can do. All right, what else can we do? We can move our arms. Right, to the side, forward, up. Do some shoulder presses. And by the way, if you have some resistance that you can utilize, whether it's a dumbbell or kettlebell, we can work with resistance and do exercises such as shoulder presses, such as bend over rows, bicep curls, swings if you have kettlebells. If you have a pull-up bar, obviously pull-ups of different type. How many repetitions? It's going to be up to you, and it's going to be up to your current fitness level. I like a space between 5 to 15 repetitions, because it seems not too little, but also not too much. Because the idea in incorporating exercise on a daily basis or incorporating it during the day is that you do it casually. You do it as a dime into your piggy bank, not as $20 bill in the bank. I don't know. You get what I'm saying? You're doing it a little bit each day throughout the day that feels like, okay, I can do it. Not a problem. As opposed to going with a full-blown workout. Anyone can handle 5 to 15 repetition. And if you can't do 5, okay, again, if you can't do 5, do 2, do 3, whatever number of repetitions that you can do. But anyone can do these few repetitions, all right, of any one exercise every 2 hours. Your body can adjust to it. You will feel more successful. And the most importantly, you will accumulate this. You will still build yourself up. You will build your endurance. You will build your mental fortitude. And you will actually become stronger and more capable. You will deliver. You will develop a better capacity, work capacity over time. So this is the best thing. This is the best thing ever. These are a few of my thoughts for today. Okay? I would absolutely love to hear your thoughts. I would love for you to try these things and leave me a comment. Leave me a comment with your experience. I will be doing this same thing next week. Okay? I will be incorporating these things and I will be practicing what I preach. So every 2 hours, I will be stretching, I will be shifting, and I will be doing 5 to 15 repetitions. And I also will be sharing it with you. So let's grow together and let's have a conversation of how it felt. What do we have to lose? 5 minutes? We waste 5 minutes every day. At least I do. You know, I'm not perfect. So here we go. Let's put it in practice, and let's share our experiences with the world and with each other, okay? I hope that this was helpful. As always, I'm looking for your feedback, and I hope that we can connect. The objective here is to build a sustainable practice, make our body stronger, make our mind more resilient, and be well. With that, my friends, have a wonderful week. Take care of yourself, and no matter what you do, never, ever, ever stop learning, my friends. Peace.